All right, welcome to episode 2 of the Punt. We've listened to some of your advice. We're gonna make sure we get our top bets at the end on this show. So watch what we've got to say, and then it will be more clearer than last time. But yeah, we'll get straight into it. Bish, I think we've got on it. The Thanksgiving games we were could have done better. Could have done better. What do you think?
Yeah, I got off to a bad start. I think with Singletary didn't really. Alan ran a bit more than I thought he would. You could see he was struggling with his elbow, but when he needed to, he ran and he got the only the one chance they got down there. He took that touchdown off Singletary, but Captain Kirk saved me. He came back and brought me back into it. I like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I was 2 out of 3 on the best bets, and then Pollard missed out as well. So 2 out of 4 on the night. So yeah, what about yourself?
I didn't. I was hoping you wouldn't mention that, Bish. I was
Started
one out.
well. You started
Oh,
well, killed it.
started well. But yeah, 1 out of 3. I think the final game, it just didn't happen for me. The points, I didn't think the points were going to get there, but the points got there. It was the Dallas v who
New York.
New York Giants
Giants,
game. Yeah,
yeah.
the points finally got there in the end, but yeah, I've got this thing at the moment where I think a lot of punters would probably be with me here, where I'm just pushing it. I'm just pushing it that bit far. I need to probably play a bit safer and just take the easy bet. I think I'm going for broke sometimes, and I don't need to. I'm getting roundabout. I think my middle one, I apologize, I should have reviewed, but I know I was really close on that, just a bit off again, and I'm going to play it safer this week, Bish, and hopefully just get my reputation a bit better, and
Yeah.
hopefully get 3 out of 3 on my best bets.
Yeah, I think you're a bit unlucky on that Cowboys Giants, because I think Cowboys missed a field goal that would have pushed you the points over, and obviously the handicap as well. And then so they've missed that field goal. Giants have got short field and they've come back and scored that touchdown at the end to get you over on the points, but obviously take away the handicap. So it's a cool game at times.
It was tough watch. I were up late. I had an early morning. I was watching though, and yeah, devastated, absolutely devastated. I thought 2 out of 3, I'm happy. Would have been bloody 4 out of 6 for our first 2 weeks, and I would have been racing. Big Joe me the money would have kept to his name, but not at the moment. So I'm redeeming my reputation this week, Bish,
Right.
for this Sunday.
We'll carry
Uh,
on.
First game of the week, Tampa Bay. First game of Sunday. If you're watching Red Zone, tune in with us. We're actually doing a live show again. Please tune in. I think this might be our last live show for a bit of a break. Just giving you a taste of what's to come. I think we're going to smash it for next season. So please join us on Sunday. Just a quick plug for our show. But yeah, Tampa Bay v the Cleveland Browns, Bish. Tampa Bay are minus 3.5 in this. Obviously, that means Cleveland plus 3.5, and the over/under is 42.5 points.
Yeah.
And that was what's your initial thoughts?
I like the Bills. I like the Bucks here, minus
Yeah,
3.5. I think they got off to a not a great start on the season, but I think they're building nicely. They've got people coming back now. Rashad White, the rookie running back, looks like he's taken over the main job. I think his last start, over 20 carries, over 100 yards, in an area that they struggled running the ball. So, and just with the experience they've got on their team, I think they're building nicely. I think they'll win that division and have a home playoff game. And we know what Brady's like in the playoffs. So coming up against the Browns here, I think the Browns. Sorry, I've just lost my stat. The Browns have been blown out in the last 4 out of 5 by an average of 12.5 points. So Bucks minus 3.5. Yeah, I think that'll definitely be one of my best bets.
yeah, and I've been shocked by Cleveland. You watch them, and they play some actually entertaining football. They run the ball with Chubb. They've got Hunt. They've got obviously the dynamic duo. They just can't seem to get the defense right now. When last season it was actually a strong point. The line obviously It's not been as effective as last year, was it? That was their thing. They got sacks on sacks,
Yeah.
and they're not doing as well this year. So yeah, I think it's killing them really, because I don't think the cornerbacks and the safeties are good enough to cover for the lack of production from the defensive line. So from that, Bish, I'm with you. I've got Tampa Bay written all over that -3.5. I think I think Brady is the top two in quarterback average in yardage, or what's the stats on Tom Brady?
Passing yards.
Passing yards. I apologise. Yeah, he's top in passing yards. I don't think that's going to change. I think they're going to set Rashard White off. I think he's going to be churning out the yardage. But I've got my man. He's in my fantasy team. Might be a bit of biasness here, but I've got Chris Godwin over 6.5 receptions. I think they use him whenever Brady's in trouble. Really, whenever the line gets through and Brady's under pressure, Godwin's the short yardage option, and he's been at it all season, and I can't see it changing. I think the Browns will get through a couple of times, and I think Godwin will be there. They've just been churning out. He's been steady all year. I think he could be in for a bit of a breakout game with Rashard White, and I think all the Cleveland defense is going to be concentrated on stopping the run, and I think that will open up a lot of receptions for someone like Godwin.
Lovely, I like that. Yeah, I think he's Brady's safety net, isn't he, really? Coming back off his ACL, yeah, he's looking good.
Yeah, I think but to be fair, I think there's a few good bets for Tampa Bay here. I think Rashard White touchdown. I've got to be pretty confident with, or whatever. I don't think his rushing props are out yet, and it's Saturday. That probably shows that they might be obviously trying to put a line to that. But I think whatever it is, unless it's 90 plus, I'd be pretty confident Rashard White's going to hit at least 100 yards here. So I'd get your money on that.
Nice.
Next game, Bish, we've got the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Tennessee Titans. The Bengals are -3, Tennessee are +3, and the over/under for this game is 43.5. What have you got?
This is a good one. This one, I like this matchup. I think this is the Sky game. Obviously, we'll be watching on Red Zone, but I think this is so there might be a bit of money going into this one. A rematch of the playoffs last year as well, where the Bengals got a narrow victory, but Burrow harassed most of the night. I think that they had 9 sacks on Burrow, and somehow he still managed to get that playoff win. But the Titans, the second best team in the league against the run, and the starting running back is out, I believe. Joe Mixon, I think he's out.
He is out.
Yeah. And then Jamar Chase, I think it's a game time decision whether he's back. So that could give Burrow another option. Betting wise, I'm looking at the overs. I think if I were leaning one way, I'd look at the overs, and that's it. Possibly, the way I see it, for the Bengals to win, they're going to have to throw the ball. So possibly Joe Burrow overs on his passing yards. I think it'll be around 275, something like that. I have to double check that. But personally, I'm probably staying away. But if I was to have a bet, it'd probably be on them too.
Yeah, I'm with you, Bish. I'm on the over. I've got it circled. I'm going through my notes. I've got it circled twice, and I've got an arrow saying plus. I'm all in on the over. I think the defenses match up against each other pretty badly. And by that, I mean, I might be wording that badly, but what I mean is that the Tennessee's cornerbacks, it's probably their weakest point on defense. It's Bengals possibly strong. I know Joe Mixon's a brilliant player, but Jamar Chase and that receiving core in Cincinnati has been absolutely fantastic, probably just behind what I'd put Miami's, maybe even better. But yeah, so I think the wide receivers for Bengals could have a brilliant game, and then the Bengals run defense isn't the best either. So that means one thing only: Derrick Henry's gonna run wild on the Cincinnati Bengals. So I've got the overs. I think it's going to be points galore. They're both bad at stopping each other's main point, focal point in attack. I'm on the overs, Bish, with you. I'm not. I won't want to punt on individual props. I don't. I think they share it about. Maybe Derrick Henry. I've just checked there. His
Yeah.
over under is 97.5 yards. You'd hope so, but it'd be tough. It'd be a tough. I'm not confident in calling that just by yeah, I'm not confident. Not that he won't hit, but I think it could be 98 yards. It could be 99. It could be a final one where who was it last week where we watched and he hit it. He hit it in like the last two runs he did on red zone. We watched, didn't we? And he just hit. And I think that could be the same for Derek. So I'm staying away from that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So no overs. That's probably for the ones who are watching. I'll write that down so I mention it at the end. But the overs in that game, I'd get your money up. Me and Bish, we're on that. Please bet responsibly. But we're both on it. Let's go. Next game, Bish, we've got Baltimore versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. Baltimore -4, Jacksonville +4. The over/under for the game is 43.5 points. Both Baltimore, I think both are in a bit of bad form recently. Even Baltimore are winning, but they don't look impressive. So, what are you looking at here, Bish?
Yeah, we're a bit surprised by them last week, weren't they? I think they were massive favourites last week against the Panthers and just struggled over the line. I was looking at this one. Ravens, probably Ravens -4. You'd think.
You don't, you don't.
Yeah, you'd hope. I think the one spot behind the Chiefs in the AFC for the number one rank. So, and as we've spoken before, how they play, they run the ball, they grind you down. I think Lamar's sort of struggled in the passing game in terms of having weapons. Bateman on IR. I think Andrews is a bit banged up, so he's not firing on all cylinders. He seems to be
he missed last game, so that might explain it. That might explain why the bad result last game.
Yeah, so if Jacksonville can obviously sort of withstand the run a bit like Panthers did last week, then it could make it a low scoring sort of tough game where Baltimore come through in the end like they did last week. So yeah, I'll probably, if I was going one way, it'd be Ravens -4.
Bish, I like to debate on these shows, but I've also got Baltimore -4 circled. So I like the way we're thinking. That's giving confidence, I guess, to viewers. Because I've got Mark Andrews back. He's obviously banged up, but he's back for this game. If you watch any Lamar games, like I have over the last couple of years, if he's panicking, if he's not on form, there's one man who he throws to. It's Mark Andrews. If he's obviously a brilliant runner. If he's not feeling his throwing, if he's not feeling the throw at moment, he looks for Andrews and looks for Andrews only, and he builds his confidence up through, I think, getting them receptions with Mark Andrews. So I've got him and that, and Bish. I don't know if you've heard. Apparently, the Gus bus is back. Gus Edwards.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah,
and I think all respect to Kenyon Drake. For the last couple of years, he's been in and out. I think he's been struggling. I think Gus Edwards is the real deal. He come back a couple of weeks ago, got 2 touchdowns and rocked it better than people thought he would. So I'm on Baltimore -4 all day long. So is Bish. Get it in the get it in the bet free. Oh no, we don't endorse any individual betting company here. I apologise. The next game, Bish. This is another tough one. We've got the Houston Texans versus Miami. I don't say it's tough because Miami, I had it down as -14. Houston, obviously, +14, and the over/under is 47.
Yeah, it's a big one, isn't it? And that stat that you threw in last week on the live show, obviously the underdogs on the handicap are going well out of this year.
Very well.
But I think this one is, I'd be on the Dolphins. I think I had a look. I had them -13.5. I just think that
it makes a bit more sense.
I think it could get ugly pretty quick. Just they're rolling really well. Dolphins, they've got so many weapons. I mean, I fancied the Commanders last week against the Texans, and they just look a shadow of the cat. They struggled last week to get Damian Pierce going. They've benched the quarterback Davis Mills. So I think they're in a bit of disarray, and on the other end, I just think the Dolphins are just firing on all cylinders. They're so good to watch, so much speed. So yeah, one I like in this one. I think Mostert is doubtful to play, so that'll give Jeff Wilson sort of dominance in the backfield. And he's been carving up. He's getting plenty of opportunities and taking them. So I'm looking at Jeff Wilson over 80.5 rushing yards here. That's his prop line. And one that I like, probably go. So my bets are probably 1 unit. I'll probably go half a unit on this one. Is if he gets the goal line work, Wilson, which he should command the backfield here, and I think Dolphins will be scoring some points. I'm gonna have a little bit on Wilson 2+ rushing touchdowns and a Dolphins win, which is 7-2. So I'm going down your route, Joe.
I mean, that's very Joe-like.
On away from the sensible one, and I'm throwing that one in there. I like the Dolphins. I like what they're doing.
Wow.
So yeah, I'm all over that one.
I love the confidence. A quick story on this one. I was on my fantasy, and it gives you some breakdown on which teams are scoring. If you've got a player that I've got Tyreek Hill next to his name, it had Houston third, and that normally correlates to how good the defense is. But I've done my research, and it's not that Houston's cornerbacks are that good. It's that they cannot stop the run. They just can't stop the run. It's embarrassingly bad. So yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm with you, Bish. Jeff Wilson over 80. Can I just put the caveat on for viewers? Check that Mostert isn't playing in the game. I think that might affect it. And to be honest, how bad the Texans' rush defense is, Wilson would probably still get it anyway. But double check that Mostert definitely isn't playing. I think he is doubtful. But I'd wait to put your bet on for that one. If in my personal safe approach, wait till. But yeah, they can't stop the run, Bish. I didn't know. I've got possibly take the under, but you've convinced me otherwise, Bish. I was a bit nervous just because I think because they're that bad at rush, and Houston Texans' offense is Dameon Pierce and the rush. That normally means a quick game, not as many points. But you've convinced me, and I'm not going to advise on that, and I'm just going to double down on Bish's Jeff Wilson over 80.5 yards and steal Bish's best bet. I think that's best bet I've ever heard. 80.5 rushing yards for Jeff Wilson in this game it's like taking candy from a baby. That one, I'm all over it, Bish. You've got me. Brilliant. I can't believe that's the line. I hope that doesn't change by the time I get on that. I'm all up for that. That's unbelievable.
We're agreeing on a lot today, aren't we, so far?
I'm sure I'll chuck a few at you, Bish. I'll have a few later. I always have a few controversial ones. The next game we've got the Chicago Bears v New York Jets. The Jets are -6 on this. Chicago +6, and the over/under's 38.5. What's your thoughts on that?
It's an interesting one. This one, Jets again. They've benched Zach Wilson.
What's your thoughts on that, quick Bish?
I think he's from sort of reading stuff and listening to a few podcasts. I think it's more of a bit. They challenge him a bit. I think he's been playing poorly. I think he's he's a lot better than what he's showing, but I think it's a bit of, I don't know if it's a bit of arrogance or a bit of he expects to be better than he is, and it just seems like they're just sort of reeling him back in a little bit, seeing how he goes with this, and then and throwing him out there. So it's an interesting one. I think it's more of a character issue than I seen the press conference after the game, and he was very reluctant to take any blame on what the offense were doing.
What was the famous quote? Was it no?
No. Yeah.
No.
Oh yeah, it's one of those. It was the last question of the interview, and he probably wanted to get away. But obviously, when with no context and just that, it doesn't look good. So yeah, we'll see what comes of it. Obviously, Mike White in there, and on the other end you've got Fields, who's dislocated his shoulder and apparently torn some ligaments in that shoulder, non-throwing shoulder. But so we'll see if he's available. But again, I'm back to Montgomery on this one. You know, the Bears have been good running the ball. Really good running the ball. I think they averaging around 200 rushing yards a game now. Sort of a lot of that is Fields as well, but with his shoulder, I think that'll limit him a little bit running the ball. Might not run as much, which as I spoke about last week, David Montgomery is the main guy in that backfield. Give him more carries, and his line's not out, which, like I say, it's a bit annoying given the games of tomorrow. But if it's anywhere around what it was last week, which is it was 66.5, yeah, I like that one. David Montgomery rushing. And then I'm all over you, Joe, now. A few sneaky ones. Just with Mike White in there, a defensive Bears touchdown is 10-1. So, you know, a rookie quarterback, well, not a rookie quarterback, but, you know, not a starting quarterback against the Bears defense, which is good. So yeah, that'll be, you know, just a small bet, nothing serious there. And then another one, Michael Carter, Mike White in there, just with quarterbacks, and when they get pressured a lot, they like to dump it off to the running back. You know, it's just like a bit of a safety valve. His receptions prop isn't up, but his receiving yards is 20.5. I probably won't go with the receiving yards, but I'd look at his receptions if that comes up tomorrow. If it's around 3.5, I'd probably be on the overs there as well. And that's me for that one.
Wow. Bish, you're shocking me with some today. I didn't see this coming.
I played it safe last week.
I'm playing it. I'm actually gonna I might take the under on this, Bish.
Yeah.
I think I might take the under. It is low for an under, but I think I'm going to take the under. Justin Fields isn't going to be able to run. If he does, it might be. It won't be wise for him, would it? It could impact his career for the next year or two if he does. I'm not saying I wish he doesn't get injured. He might not even play. And then that means it goes down to the Jets, and his throwing game isn't brilliant. I slaughtered it on the live stream last night. I said he can't throw. So I'm on that Jets defense. I love it. In the last 3 games, they've recorded 6 sacks, 5 sacks, and 6 sacks. I think they're gonna. I think with Justin Field not be able to run as much, I've got them getting some sacks and getting some interceptions on this. So any the props weren't out, I don't think, when I last checked. I need to check again, but I'll give a tweet out if there's some defensive props for the Jets that I like, because I'm all over any that really pop up for me. So yeah, I'm on the under for that, Bish, and I'm playing it safe. And then if I see any defensive props for the Jets that pop up that get me tasty, maybe something like 3+ sacks, 3.5+ sacks, or 1 or 2 interceptions, I'm all over it. I think Fields is going to get intercepted a few times. He might tend the run. He might have to go off. A backup QB might come on. I don't think it's going to be many points. I don't think the Jets are that explosive, but they've got a tremendous defense. So I think I'm going the under. Right. I need a few shocks, and I've got it in this game, Bishy. I've got it in this next game because you've took my role, and I don't know how much I like it.
Roll reverse.
We've got Atlanta v Washington, the Commanders. Atlanta are plus 4.5 in this, Washington minus 4.5, and the over-under is 40.5 points. What have you got?
Commanders, well, I'm liking the Commanders. Obviously came in for us last week. They're going well. I think they've won the last 4 out of 5, and I think this is the last sort of, it's hard to say an easy game, but winnable game before the schedule gets a bit tougher. And the one win outside the playoff spots as well. So they're well in the hunt. The defense is playing very well, and they're getting it done on offense as well. This one, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. Kyle Pitts on IR for the Falcons, so it's sort of reduces the options that they've got there in the passing game. They like to run the ball. They've got, you know, obviously 3 strong running backs. I think you got on Huntley last week, was it?
No.
Algier.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Tyler Algier.
Algier.
Over 33 rushing yards. Yeah.
So if I had to lean one way, I'd lean the Commanders with the handicap. But one I'm looking at, again, it's not out. It'd be Cordell Patterson. I think his rushing yards is 46.5, and that he hit that last week. That came in last week. But I'd be looking at his rushing and catching yards, his total yards, just with Kyle Pitts out. He's obviously very, very good. You know, he was a wide receiver. He's a wide receiver running back, so he might be an option there with no one of note really taking over in terms of being the number one target out there for Mariota now that Pitts is on IR. So I'd be looking at Patterson total yards. There's no prop on it yet, so after, like I said, we'll see what it's at tomorrow, and it might be one we discuss on the live stream.
I'm all over the Washington like you, Bish. I'm taking plus. I'm taking -4.5. I think I've got my money on this, but I've got my double. I've got my Joe Spicy double that I've chucked in the last 2 weeks. I've got this man, and it's going to shock you all to get a touchdown, and his name's Jahan Dotson.
All right.
Yeah. I think over the first 3 or 4 weeks, he got quite a few touchdowns. I'm just checking now. He got 4 touchdowns in his first 5 weeks. I'm all over him. I think he's a brilliant player. He got injured for 5 games in the middle of the season. He's had 2 games back, and he's just getting back into things. I think Tyler Heineke's going to throw all over the Atlanta cornerbacks. They're not good at defending wide receivers, Atlanta. It's their weakness. I'm all over any wide receiver for Washington. So that's why I've got the double, Jahan Dotson touchdown, and the overs on the -4.5 for Washington. Get it on the double, make yourself a bit of money, but please bet responsibly. Yeah. That's my one. That's my one. That's gonna be at my end as well. I'm very confident in that for a risky bet for the Jahan Dotson one. I'm confident he's gonna explode. He's a rookie, and normally rookies get better and better as it goes on. He had a brilliant start, got injured, and he's just coming back now, figuring things out.
Nice.
Yeah, and then the final game, I believe, Bish. I think we're on. I've not missed one ever. Yeah, the final game of the first stint of Red Zone that will be on the live stream for 2 struggling teams, 2 absolutely struggling teams, Denver and Carolina. Denver, last time I checked, were -2. It might have changed now. I can't. And Carolina was +2. The over/under for this is 36, the lowest over/under on the show we're doing today. Give me something, Bish. Come on, there must be something.
Got a nice stat for you here, Joe. I've got a nice one, so I'm going to read it so I don't mess it up. So in regular game time, if the Broncos have scored 18 points in regular time, they'd be 8-2 now so far. So it's
oh my God.
Every week Broncos are just scream unders. They're currently dead last in the NFL, and they average 14.7 points per game. But on the flip side, the defense is the 3rd best. They only concede 17 points a game, which is it's crazy, really. It's just how bad their offense is. And they've just cut Melvin Gordon as well, running back.
Yeah,
I think one too many fumbles, and he's gone now. So
sorry for interrupting. Quick, you've got to type into Twitter the the video of all the Melvin Gordon fumbles over the last year. It is mind blowing. That man cannot hold a ball for his life. It's a bar of soap to that man. He's a great running back, but oh my God, it just pops out. It's unbelievable. Please search it up. You'll have a right laugh. Sorry.
Yeah, I'll have a look. Well,
sorry,
I think it's just one too many, and it's interesting because they've got obviously the main running back, Javonte Williams, he's on IR as well. So I think they've got Latavius Murray, who'll possibly be the main guy. But yeah, it screams unders. It is a very low unders, but I think if you're looking at the Panthers, they've struggled as well. Another new quarterback, Sam Darnold's coming in, starting this week as well. Their offense, the defense, they showed up well against the Ravens last week, as we spoke about, but their offense isn't really, it's not really helping them. And another quarterback change. So for me, if it was any better, it would be the unders, and I suppose you'd lean Broncos. I had a look today. I think it's -2.5 now, but yeah, it's probably one I'd avoid really.
Yeah, it's one that you'll have to be a brave man to have a bet on this one. Luckily, I am Bish. Luckily, I'm on the overs, Bish. I'm on the overs.
Wow.
We're disagreeing the last
Wow.
game, of the red zone that we're going to cover today. I'm on the overs. I think this doesn't come from my facts. I've been boshing out facts the last couple of weeks. This doesn't come from facts. This comes from feeling. I've got a feeling that the Denver Broncos aren't going to be as motivated as they were. I think it's it's not statistically impossible. I think if they lose this, that they're out of the playoffs. I think the chance of them getting the playoffs anyway, it's very low. I don't think they'll be as motivated as they were. I think they've been saving Russell Wilson. I think I can actually see Russell doing quite well this game. I know it sounds crazy, but I can see him actually now. There's less pressure on. I think he's come in there, wanting to be this big star. In Seattle, Seattle was the run game, backed up by Russell Wilson moonballs and some tremendous plays. Don't get me wrong, but every time over the past couple of years that I've massively watched NFL, every time they let Russ cook, it's been a mixed bag of results, and I think they've obviously put it all on Denver. I think they've all put it on him too, and I think the pressure's going to be off now. I can see them getting. I don't see them getting much, but I can see them getting 23, 24, 25 points based on obviously how the game goes. I can see that happening. I can see Sam Darnold. I like Sam.
Yeah.
I'd love to see what his interceptions are on the betting. I don't know if it's out yet, but I'd probably go over on the interceptions. He's a very risky player, but he does throw it. He's not a scared quarterback. He's not one of the. He's like a Taylor Heineke of I think, where they do throw it around a bit and they do give it a go. So I'm going the overs on that one. I had Denver circled, but I just don't know if Russ can cook. But I've got to believe they can, and I'm going to go a double of over 36 and Denver. It was -2 when I had it, but if it's -2.5, doesn't change loads to me because normally it's by a field goal in it. So that's my double. That's my double for this game.
Nice, I like it.
But come on, Bish, give me a bit.
It's a nice one. I like you flipping it the other way. Like you said, eventually it's got to click on it on offense. You think for the Broncos,
they've got to have one good game. Sure.
Yeah. So yeah, why not this one?
Why not this one? Two teams that the pressure's off. You know what I mean? The pressure's off because they're both not failed. Well, yeah, they're both failed. Denver certainly. You know what I mean? I think Carolina, I don't know if the expectations were that high anyway, but they both had a bad season. I think the pressured me off. They might have a throw around. They might have some fun. Let's hope that at least they'll provide a good game for the fans after a disappointing season. That's my thoughts. So that comes from feeling. So they say never bet with never trust someone they're betting on emotion, but I want it to be a good game. So Bish, we've agreed on most there, to be fair.
Yeah, there's just that. I think that last one there, we ended with a nice one.
Yeah.
Nice difference.
Yeah. We needed to disagree on one, didn't we? We've been tapping each other on the back all show, saying, yeah, we're on the same. We needed a bit of disagreement. But I think it's time for Scott's. I can't even say it. It's a tongue twister. You'll have to do it for me. Scott Taylor.
Tags touchdown treble.
Tag's touchdown treble. I can't
That's
speak.
it. So just for the viewers, so Scott Taylor, massive NFL fan also. And obviously while we're watching these the first portion of Red Zone, the 6 p.m. games, Tag's going to be throwing a treble out there, and for this week he's gone with Mike Evans, Tyreek Hill, and Mark Andrews, and that's 12-1. That is so three touchdown scorers anytime, and hopefully we'll cheer that home live tomorrow.
I might get on that myself, Bish. I like that one. What's the odds on that?
12-1. That is.
That's brilliant, isn't it? Yeah, I think I might be with it myself. Yeah, I think that's become a regular segment. He got 2 out of 3 last time for viewers' information. So we were very close. He actually had Damian Pierce, which was probably the most likely one to get a touchdown that didn't. So let's hope Tag gets on the roll and gets his treble for this week. Thank you, Tag. So Bish, the important business.
Yes.
What are your 3 best? What are Bish's best bets? We've got touchdown trebles.
We're all over this, aren't we? Oh yeah, I'm going to throw 3 up. So number 1 is Tampa Bay Buccaneers -3.5. Number 2 is Jeff Wilson Jr. over 80.5 rushing yards, and then the third one, it's from the Bears Jets game, but we're just waiting online, so it'll be confirmed. It'll be confirmed tomorrow, on the live stream. But it'll either be David Montgomery overs on his rushing yards, or it'll be Michael Carter overs on receptions. So ideally, it'll be Montgomery, anything around that 66 mark where he was at last week. That'll be the bet. So yeah, there's my 3. Over to you, Joe.
My 3. So I've got Chris Godwin over 6.5 receptions in the Tampa Bay game versus the Cleveland Browns. I've got my next one that I was very confident on is the Jahan Dotson Washington -4.5 double. I think that is my best bet. It's risky. I'll be honest. That's the riskiest best bet. And then the third one, I'm going. Can I nick yours, Bish? Because as you said it sounds crazy to me. I had one, but I've got to go with you. This is a Bish best bet, but I'm stealing it. The Jeff Wilson over 80.5 yards. If Raheem Mostert's out, it's easy. I should never say easy money. That's easy.
Yeah.
I'm on that. I'm stealing your best bet. I'll give you all the credit in the world if it comes off, but I'm advising the viewers get on that one. I can't believe that's a line. So yeah, I'm on it with you.
Yeah, it's an interesting one now. Now all we need is them to run it and not just throw it all over the place.
Yeah, they will. Yeah. So no, I'm yeah, brilliant. Hopefully you have a good weekend, Bish. I'll see you tomorrow. We're on the show. I don't think my dad's here tomorrow. Show Me the Money's not here, so it's me, you. We'd have to rock it, Bish. Me, you rocking it. Sam, the producer's gonna be doing it, so we'll have a laugh. Get on the Red Zone live with us and come have a bit of laugh. We'll get your comments in, and we're on. See you tomorrow, Bish.
See you tomorrow.